what to write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, with my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. Let's have a great conversation. Let's have a conversation about structure, Easy. We were talking about structure just a little bit a while ago, just like off air, just in between guests, just with the radio. And we just want to talk about consistency and just trying to do better. And it just doesn't matter like what type of business, what type of idea you have, just structure in life, just moving on. Because everybody can be consistent. Everybody can be better every day. Doesn't matter what age you are. Doesn't matter what situation you have in life. And let's just talk about some topics and some ideas, and myself too, because I'm not perfect either. No there's a whole bunch of stuff,
there's no such thing as perfection.
There is no such thing as perfection. I do agree, but I agree you can be better every day, and you got to realize your faults. And I think the problem with every human being that's living on this planet is we know our faults. We just don't want to put action towards them. And it can be simple stuff like eating healthy, working out. You ain't got to put too much pressure on your body working out. You can walk. You can, do a couple push-ups every day, like something like at least like 2 or 3 times a week to get yourself motivated. You can
something even more fun. You can up your sexual activity.
You can do that too. But do it safely and responsibly.
Exactly. And with full consent.
Absolutely. With full, definitely full consent. With full consent. Absolutely. I do agree. But there's numerous topics that we could just talk about structure. Let's talk about you on your side.
Well, see, structure is so super important, but so for me, structure is important because it gives the more structure you have, the more room there is for chaos.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of like what I love about it. And that's, one of the things that I think we've always had, one of the most structural aspects of it is when we're putting on a show, not one of what we're doing right now,
right?
But like when we're putting on like, an event, we always have everything planned out pretty much to the minute. But the reason why we do that is because we know, is this going to be one of the after hours type of things?
No, it's going to be a regular live on WNHHLP 103.5. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. I gotta come up with like new slogans or sayings for you. I gotta do it up. It's no seasoning right now. It's been like what 3 to 4 years. I gotta like make people feel much happier about EZ BlueZ. Like I think I got the confidence right in the voice. I gotta make
it's
feel like you're good. I gotta spice it up a little bit more. Know,
I could respect it. I could respect it. No, see that's the whole point. When you're dealing even like with the structure, that's how something can work out really well. We know that for every type of time that we're doing the intro, we have to say this, and this to get it along the path, and we have that structure. We know that every 20 minutes we have to say that. So by preparing it and by getting it as structured as possible, you have now that opportunity to have those, those cheap pop moments where you can mention, the station, you can mention, who's listening right now or who's on and different things like that. And it's in that structure. It's the same thing of when you see a whole bunch of different professional wrestlers. Some of the most chaotic matches are out there are probably the ones that have been gone over so many different times because it's so necessary. You have to know that, look what just happened in, I believe it was Saudi Arabia with Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Logan Paul moved a half an inch and he had to readjust to pretty much save Mysterio's life.
Save his life. They were doing a stunt, and I think it was like a backflip on the ring, and then like he caught him just in time so he won't break his neck. And I think we're in a better time when it comes to reliability and just keeping people safe now, because like there's been too many unnecessary passings and unnecessary injuries that could have been avoided a much long time ago. But I think people have moved on and learned from those unfortunate tragedies. But go ahead, Easy.
But see, that's the whole thing too, because now
Mhm.
we go back into that structure, and if you really
Right.
look at, the tragedy of Owen Hart,
Yeah.
they didn't have the proper structure in there. They didn't have the proper people, or the proper equipment for that stunt in particular.
Mhm.
And because there wasn't that proper structure, unfortunately,
Right.
he wound up passing.
Right.
And you can see the importance of that even in your everyday
Mhm.
existence.
Yeah.
When you know that, look, it takes an extra 5-10 minutes to make your bed every morning, but you make your bed every morning to make sure that you're feeling good and you're feeling like you've accomplished something to go into that next part of your day, and
True.
so forth and so on.
Mhm.
And it's one of those top things. I can be left in a room to my own devices for hours upon hours, and yeah, I might get something done,
That's my
but I
problem.
also,
I'm
yeah,
happy you
but
mentioned that. That's my
yeah.
problem. That's my 100%. But I'm gonna let you finish and I'm gonna continue on. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, no, I might get something done, and what
Mhm.
I might get done might be amazing. But
Right.
there's a good possibility that, the intrusive thoughts are going to kick in,
Mhm.
or, I'm going to get distracted,
Of
or,
course.
I sit down for 2 seconds and pop out the phone, and now I'm doom scrolling for 35 minutes, you know?
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to
Yeah,
that. And that's yeah. We're seeing eye to eye. Well,
right.
we are.
So, when you have those type of
Mhm.
things, making sure that, what I do, like, because for those who don't know, I actually started teaching some music classes.
Yeah, man.
And the structure that I have in the music classes,
Mhm.
it's an hour long,
Right.
but I break everything up into 15-minute segments because
Mm.
it's easier to digest in 15 minutes, especially working with the younger kids. I know that, I take the first 15 minutes and we do a drum circle and we talk. Then we
Mhm.
go over the song that we're going to be working on. And then the last 15 minutes of it is a dance party, just so the kids can relax and get all that extra energy out. And then the last five
Yeah.
minutes is we sit down and we listen to a song, and we try to calm down now so the
Mhm.
kids don't leave the room all hyped out of their skull, and they're able to go lay down.
What age group? So for the listeners who
Oh,
just
I got
joined for the
some
first
six to
time.
seven,
Oh, you
six
got
to
6 or
seven.
7. You got the fun bunch. You got the
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
bunch.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have a good time. We have
You ever
we have a
give
good
some
time.
like dancing homework?
Yeah, I do. I give them homework all the time, actually. But, like, the homework that I give them is like, I
Yeah.
want you to talk to your parents and
Mhm.
find out what their favorite song is, and I
Right.
want you to listen to it with them, and then tell me what instrument was the first instrument you heard,
Right.
in that song when you come
Mhm.
in. They never remember because 'cause they're 6. But, it's a fun little exercise. Plus, in
Uh-huh.
talking with the parents,
Right.
I ask them all the time, I'm like, "Well, what are your kids listening to right now?"
Mhm.
You know? And they're like, "Well, I
That's an
have no
important
idea."
question though. That really
Yeah.
is. That really is an important question because they could be listening to something that they shouldn't listen to.
Mhm.
That's not really ready for their childhood right now. They can like tore them up mentally for a couple months. Because some
Right.
songs I listened to when I was like, oh, I don't need to be listening to this right now. I
But
should,
it's a
yeah.
lot different now though too,
Hmm.
because, back when you and I were coming up, it
Yeah.
was a lot more radio friendly, and the songs that you were hearing, you were at least hearing the radio edits of it. So you knew that there was a word that was in there that shouldn't be in there, don't get me wrong, but you didn't hear them saying, going, 9 fingers deep or something along those lines. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Hmm.
or you didn't know, or it was wrapped up in, because look, Marvin Gaye was singing about the amazingness of sexual healing, that made it through the editing process.
Oh,
I
oh
don't
yeah.
think a 6-year-old
Oh
should be
yeah.
listening to sexual healing because, although it's adorable to see the,
Uh
I get that feeling, sexual
it's,
healing.
it's a little bit different for me. I know the route you're going with the
Mhm.
conversation, but let's just be honest. I was like 8, 9 years old. DMX was playing, Jay-Z
Word,
was playing, Onyx
word,
was playing,
word.
the Ghetto Boys were playing, and I heard
Mhm.
every word. There was no edited track. Naughty by Nature was not an edited track. Ozzy
Well,
Osbourne was not an edited track. Like, I even heard like the different skits
right,
going on,
right.
and I should not be listening. In my 36-year-old mind right now, I should have been listening to those songs at 8, 9 years old, but they were playing everywhere, cars
Yeah.
blasting with
Uh-huh.
this, like
Right.
it was just embedded within second nature back then with my childhood
But
and the people I
but if you
grew up
look at,
with.
like, if you look at some of the stuff though, like, and
Mhm.
and you're like, well, I definitely shouldn't. People could say that about the vinyls.
The vinyls, yeah.
The song, I touch myself. Oh my gosh, kids are singing about masturbation and blah blah blah. Yo,
Yeah.
I'd rather have these kids singing about masturbation than singing about, I don't know, offing the person on the corner because they didn't come up quick with your change.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like, I'd much rather, have those type of aspects of it.
Mhm.
And besides that, masturbation isn't that bad. It's actually fun,
Oh,
you
God.
know. I
The
mean, whatever.
I mean, oof, for off-branded show, we could probably lead into it, but probably like,
Oh yeah, no, I
yeah,
so want to right now. I could be
this went
quoting
left field,
Green
brother.
Day
It
right
definitely
now.
went left
Yeah.
field. And
But
it goes back to the conversation of how we just lost structure of this topic. Of the
right. Well,
Yeah.
but see, that is the other thing though.
Mhm.
When you have these things, and one of the reasons why we need structure is because we have these different type of things that can distract us.
Right.
And a catchy melody can distract us. Risque subject matter can distract us, all
Yeah,
these
of
type of
course.
things. So the
Yeah.
more structured we have going forward, the more you can, bob and weave a little bit different. If you notice, like a professional
I know.
boxer,
Yeah. Go
you
ahead.
know well, they go through an incredible program to figure out their footwork and to all this stuff, and they're doing it
Mhm.
through the structure aspect of it. They're doing that because their job is to get punched in the face. And everyone has a game plan until you get punched in the face. But
Right.
if you do this thing over and over again, and
Mhm.
you stick to the actual basics of the program that you're working, when you get punched in the face, yeah, it's gonna stink,
Right.
but you still know that I have to step left and step right, and I gotta bob, and I gotta drop my shoulders first,
Mhm.
and then pop my head up, and I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
tuck
definitely. It can
my head.
for concentration. I think I
Right.
recommend boxing, MMA to everybody because you got
Yeah.
no choice. Like you
Yeah.
have
Hmm.
no choice, whatever. You
Nope.
have to be consistent and pay
Yep.
attention to what's happening going on. If not,
Right.
that's it. Lights out.
And if your training isn't structured,
Hmm.
you could be the best person in, just like we say all the time, you could be the best MC on your block. You're still
Absolutely.
only on your block. You could be the best person in your class, but that one dude just walks up out of nowhere and throws that crazy right hook,
And
and
that's
your
it.
entire world changes.
Gone.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Gone. Physically and mentally. Gone.
Yeah, done.
It's
But
done.
that happens everywhere in life, and
Hmm.
especially if we are living more of that unstructured type of existence.
Yeah,
You
so
leave
true.
yourself open for failure more,
Hmm.
and not the good failure that you're going to learn from.
Right.
More that failure of like, I didn't get this accomplished, and the reason why I didn't get this accomplished is because of me. It's because I was not ready. I was not prepared. I did
Hmm.
not have all of this squared away and taken care of. The
I agree.
reason why we're behind, we'll say 4 days worth of packing is because, we did not come up with that game plan, and we did not look at what we have coming in and being able to look at that inventory wise, what we need to have then push out. We don't have somebody looking at what people are ordering, and we're not able to go as to order as much as we would like.
Mhm.
So having a lot of more of that structure is going to help in those type of situations, because it's going to prepare you for when the spit hits the fan. And at
Oh
the end
yeah.
of the day,
Oh
the
yeah.
spit's going to hit the fan, and it's going to hit it hard.
I agree. And to get back to what we were saying a little bit earlier about the side scrolling. Let's just say, for example, you got a day off, and you wake up in the morning, check your notifications on whatever platform. It could be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X now. So it's like the
Yeah.
everything's getting changed up, and out of nowhere, for maybe 5 hours may go by, and
Right.
and you may have something scheduled within those 4 to 5 hours that you planned in your mind, not written down, but probably planned in your mind. Probably like you woke up
Hmm.
at like at 8 o'clock in the morning and you want to do something like at 9:30, 1 o'clock, or maybe 12 o'clock that day, and then nothing got accomplished because you were on that phone, because it wasn't like written down or planned it, like calling about it. You mentally
Right.
planned it, like I'm gonna get this done that day. It can be like even minor stuff like cleaning, or
Right.
like organizing something to make like the rest of your day or like the rest of your weeks, your future weeks, like more efficiently, but you didn't get it done that day. And you're probably going to be unable to because you got work a certain time later in the day, or you got something like planned tomorrow, and it just ruins the whole,
Right.
structure of things going on through your life. And you're just like,
Mhm.
yo, maybe you need like to calm down to some stuff like video game, maybe even people.
Right.
When you think, but when the idea just came to my head, maybe you need to cut some time off with people, respectfully, of course, respectfully,
Right.
absolutely respectfully,
Right.
and just cut your time down. Maybe you don't need to play that poker game or watch the sports game with somebody that day. Maybe you can do something that's more beneficial for your life. And if they really understand, they're cool with it, because life goes on and there's more times you can meet and engage with that person. You don't necessarily have to meet like every week with that certain individual.
Right. And if they don't
Unless like for a
understand
relationship or
word,
something, but that's like about it. But go ahead.
yeah, but that's the thing is if they don't understand word, like kick rocks. Let's
Yeah,
move on to
exactly.
the
Yeah.
next thing out there. There's going to be, I remember
Mhm.
watching Medea Goes to Jail and, talking about that people are in your life for a reason or a season.
That's true.
And a
That's so
lot of
true.
people don't seem to understand that there's a
Yeah.
difference,
Mhm.
and, that not everybody is in your life to stay forever.
No,
You're
not
supposed to
not at
learn
all. I
something
agree.
from somebody, and then you're supposed
Absolutely.
to move on.
And just move on
And
and
it's
go
those
forward.
relationships where you can continue to grow and evolve. Those are the relationships that are going to last forever.
Mhm.
And it's nobody's fault. It's just the way things go and the way people grow. I am not the same person I was 10 years ago when I came out here.
Not at all
You
me
know,
either. I'm different.
so
I'm looking at a whole new mindset of life right now.
right.
I think one of the problems with me, I think I was on a never-ending hamster wheel. And
Yep.
I was people pleasing, but I didn't know I was
Yep.
people pleasing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised to be respectful to this person, and no, regardless of what they say or do, just try your best to do the right thing.
Right.
And out of nowhere, I got let go from a couple jobs because of that. I was too much like people pleasing with all this. And, my life that right now isn't what I thought in my head 5 years ago, and
Right.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being completely
Well,
honest.
see, here's the thing though, because
Mhm.
this is where I love about perspective.
Right.
Because I can say the same thing. My life isn't exactly where I wanted it to
Of
be
course. Yeah.
10 years ago. I'm not as far along in the music career as I wanted to be, or
Hmm.
any of those type of things.
Right. Of course.
But then I can also say 10 years ago, I would have loved if my song got Shazammed in Lithuania. And
There you go.
now
You got to look
someone
at that perspective as well, too. Yeah. You
has
can't.
Shazam myself in
Mhm.
Lithuania, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of dope, you Or I would have, 10 years ago, I would have loved if everyone in my friend group was musicians that are out there, making art and doing all this incredible stuff. Well, guess what? Most of my friends are musicians making art and doing incredible stuff.
Right.
I'm kind of happy about that. Like I've lived that dream. Like, yeah, I'm not partying with like say Beyonce and Jay-Z, but
Right.
like I'm partying with Mark Lyon and Jessica Rose. Those
There
are
you go.
dope people to party with. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it is that perspective. But
Mhm.
again, it also goes back to that point of structure.
Mhm.
Structure being so super important. And this is coming from someone who, I mean, most people will look at me and they'll just see chaos coming. But between the colors that I'm wearing that are clashing, or
Yeah.
the tattoos, or those kind of things, I do all of that on purpose.
Yeah.
I really do. I do all that on purpose to help make a statement, to stick out a little bit different.
Yeah, you
They
always
call
stand
it
out.
peacocking.
That is
Yeah.
God honest truth. You always will stand out. People will
Right.
recognize you when you walk into a room. They're not going to see
Exactly.
anybody different or similar. They will see
No,
you. That is one
exactly.
thing about you. I do agree on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. The topic is structure, and I was talking about easy structure standing out in the crowd. Go ahead, Easy.
Well, but that also comes from a lot of sitting and planning.
Mm-hmm.
I put this shirt together. I'll spend, depending on the day and depending on what I have to do, I could spend a good hour trying to plan what I'm going to wear, and whether
Right.
it be the statement that's on my T-shirt, or
Mm.
or on the statement that's on my tank top that I'm wearing underneath, the button down that I'm wearing, to make sure that that's, getting that extra accentuation of color and the different pop that's out there. Or whether it be the hat that I'm wearing, I also make great choices. Well, I think they're great choices, but most of the clothing that I wear and different things are from local bands, local artists, so I'm supporting the community that I'm growing up through. The community that is supporting me, I'm out there supporting it on an everyday basis. I realized at a really young age, nobody at Nike cares if I wear their sneakers. Not one person. They don't care about me. But I know that if I'm
when
rocking,
the sales are down.
Oh yeah, no, they don't even, because everything's so insured. They don't even care about that. No, because they got insurance on it.
Oh man, that's
You know what I'm saying?
the brand's probably strong. Yeah, the brand's strong enough. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they don't care.
There's a lot I don't know.
But you know who cares? That musician that's on Bandcamp right now.
Mm-hmm.
That the difference between them having tuna fish tonight and them having like a burger or an Impossible Burger is you buying that shirt.
There's a big
or
difference.
you buying that vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
They care. And that's why, like, I started doing the unboxings and stuff like that. If I was to get something from an artist, I'm not only going to get it from the artist, but then I'm going to do some sort of social media that I got it from the artist and tell other people where they can get it from the artist, because that's their livelihood.
It's true.
And again, it's something that needs to continue to be structured, because
Absolutely.
For a while now, if I sit in one of my brain weasel type of holes where the intrusive thoughts kick in for a little bit too long, I remember I would do unboxings 6 or 7 at a time and just hold them. We're like, okay, well, I have 6 unboxings to do right now, so I'll just do them. And then it gets crazy. You're like, okay, do I want to do all 6 in the same outfit? Or do I change it up to make sure that it's changed up here? I love doing multiple unboxings. Like if it's clothing, oh, that's so much easier, because if I got 3 unboxings, each outfit is the unboxing I did from the next thing before. Like, oh, I got a new shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. Well, that one's going to be in the unboxing from this hat from Keep Flying, and the Keep Flying hat and the Professional Wrestling Tees is going to be what, in the unboxing that I got from Amazon that somebody just randomly sent me for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And I love doing stuff like that, and, and even like the structure of prepping up for a show. I will, the day of the show, I'm going to buzz my hair. I'm going to make sure that it's dyed correctly. I'm going to do my nails. I'm going to get everything, my beard's going to be on point and just perfectly in the oiled ratio of awesomeness.
But that's appearance though. That's appearance. But I think you prepare for the show every day, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like what you tell me, I gotta go to practice every Monday. I have to, plug and promote every day that I'm gotta be at this venue at this place. That's an everyday preparation for a show. I think the appearance is the thing a couple hours before. But just
all of them is just as but it's just as important, if not sometimes more important, because there is plenty of times where I will pull back the curtain. Almost every single show, especially these past couple of shows, just for this like year, I don't want to leave my house. It's warm in my house. I have everything I need in my house.
I know.
I can do it all I want.
I've known you for years. If you ain't gotta go out, you ain't gonna go out.
Yeah. So if I don't have to go out, so when people are like, "Oh, well, come do this," I'm like, But I have to make sure I structured myself to get up, do my hair, do my nails, take a shower, then get out. Because now I've already gone too far. Has anyone ever seen Harold and Kumar?
I've seen Harold and Kumar, but I forgot a lot in the movie. I haven't seen it in such a long time.
Well, they're at one point in the beginning of the movie where he like forgets his wallet or he forgets his phone, and they're like halfway down the hallway, and he checks his pockets and he goes, "Nope, we've gone too far." That's what I do to help motivate myself and to structure myself to go out somewhere. is I'm like, all right, I took a shower, I shaved my head, I did all of these different things to get forward, brushed my teeth, smacked myself in the face with some aftershave. I'm good to go. I went too far not to go
to
out
not
now.
be there, which is true. Which is true. And you took those small necessary steps. You know what I'm saying? I at least got ready to go somewhere.
Right.
I can't say that I don't want to go somewhere if I'm already 80% there to leave. The rest of the 20% is the transportation to get there, which I get.
Right.
I totally get.
And again, that all breaks down to structure. Because if I'm not setting myself up like that, I will. I know me. I know me very well. If it was like I lived in No Bones Day. Are you kidding me? That stuff was amazing.
Break down No Bones Day.
No Bones Day there was this dog on TikTok that would just lay around. And like today is a No Bones Day. And this became like such a cultural phenomenon that like people were like, I'm not going to work today because it's a No Bones Day. And and people are like, it's ridiculous, but you want to know something?
Yeah.
Maybe your body needs to relax.
True.
That's the other thing about that structure is make sure you're structuring time to relax.
Yeah.
And whether that be, 8 hours for sleep or taking a nap when you get home or, laying down and putting your phone on your chest, not looking at it for a half hour, just so that your body relaxes. Because you can try to relax with your phone in your hand, but you're scrolling. So your eyes are still getting stimulated and you're still pushing yourself further than you need it to be. To truly relax, you need to disconnect from almost everything. I say almost everything because like for me, it's music.
I need some noise. So like I'm a little different. I can't relax in something that's just quiet. Like I can't. I need at least some noise outside. I need like some music to turn on. Maybe even the TV in the background and just like have the volume all the way down to fully calm down. Because if it's just quiet, something's in me where I get a little triggered and it's something probably like a little for me hard to explain at this time, but I can't. If it's just quiet, like I can hear like nothing. I need something to know like something like it, you know what I mean? Like I can't be like that, feel like alone. It's like I wish I can say it better. Like it's
no. I think you're nailing it because a lot of people have that.
Yeah. Like I need like some time, like if, for example, if I was in like the deep country, if I had like a house down there, I'll get a little bit nervous. Like I need some. That's why I love living in the city because I need like people and like stuff around me and stuff. Cause like God forbid something happens, where I'm the only one. Like that. That's my point of view when it comes to that. But I do agree that you should relax. Everybody should relax. Everybody should have some type of way to relax or different ways to relax themselves. And I know you mentioned the phone. I need to step away from the phone.
Yeah.
Personally. You know what I mean?
A lot of people need to step away from the phone.
Yeah.
And it's because we went from not having phones to now pretty much having the Encyclopedia Britannica attached
like
to our
almost
hip
everything's in there that you need.
Yeah.
And we get bored so quickly now. All you do is go on the application on your phone and that dopamine just hits within I think like less than a minute because I think us just Americans, I'm saying like us just like Americans in general, because I don't think like most countries outside don't have the problem. They may do, I don't know, but I'm just saying I'm speaking for like Americans ourselves. Like we have this short attention span. Like if we don't get it within probably like those 10 to 15 seconds just looking at it, we're gonna go to something else. You can easily go to something else on a Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or any other.
That's the thing is they've realized that, and that's why everything has been changed marketing wise.
Yeah,
marketing wise, everything is really down to like that 15 seconds. 15 seconds, and like we just saw it like with the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is where you're going to see some of the most incredible commercials, and they're going to be 30 seconds, 45 seconds long.
And if you want to see the full thing, you got to go on the app or go on your phone to see that full entire experience. Like it's done so well. It's
exactly.
It's done beautifully. I do agree. It's
Exactly.
Marketing to a T. I can't, and I'm not mad at it because like I'm not mad at people trying to get theirs. Like I'm
No,
not mad
no.
one bit. If you have to do what you have to do it. But I'm just saying people, and I'm including myself in this, have to be more responsible when it comes to just consuming amount of entertainment. There's like
Oh yeah.
teenagers and stuff that I work with, who are on the right path to positivity because like yo, I put a timer on my phone of where
Right.
I'm just gonna scroll because I love to scroll. They said they admit it, they love to scroll and love to go on
Mm-hmm.
different plans, but I'm gonna commit time out of my day. So I'm gonna put it on my timer to block it. So I'm not enough people know how to block it too. There's like options like on your phone. Doesn't matter what phone you have. Like,
Right.
Samsung,
And
Android,
it's also,
do it. Yeah.
you know, you can get wrapped up in the whole thing. Like
Mhm.
back when I was creating content as much as possible for TikTok
Right.
and doing okay. Like I was getting
Absolutely. Yeah.
a decent type
Mhm.
of money, don't get me wrong. Um until my account got blocked because I ticked off the wrong conservative. Um,
Now,
you know.
I'm happy that you mentioned that. Just being a content creator,
Mhm.
do you feel or have you felt that you had unnecessary dopamine? Like you felt you had to post numerous stuff that day when
Mhm.
you can just like post a couple times a week and just let some posts marinate and get that traction. Did you feel
Well,
that way at the time?
there's two different avenues
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what it's about, everything is about consistency, and even
Right.
talking about the structure that we're talking about is about staying consistent with the structure.
Of course.
um it is a matter of, you need to be a good content creator. And
Mm-hmm.
this is for everyone out there. You guys want to start being a content creator, you need to have 5 bits canned every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You need to post 5 times every single day. You need to figure out what's going to be best for your audience. What are the times to do? You can schedule. Here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I went about it the wrong way
Right.
because I was just doing it like, boom, this is what it is. I'd keep it in like
Mm-hmm.
my saved files, and then I would bring it forward every once in a while. I'd never sat down on the computer and was like, okay, I'm going to schedule these
Oh,
posts
okay.
for this day and
Okay.
these posts for that day. I never did anything like that. So I burnt myself out on it, and I'll be honest, I took it really hard
So there's a smarter
when
way to
they
do it.
yeah. There's a much smarter way to do it. There's a
Gotcha.
much more organized way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Much more structured way. And actually, the person who pointed it out to us, I don't know if you remember, but Sulanette pointed it out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
us.
yeah. Great
You
people.
know,
Yeah, great person.
where
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they would sit there and talk about how they break it up throughout their day. So
Mm-hmm.
um Mondays was when they were, I call it, content refining.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they were filming up all the content that's necessary, and then they'll plan out during the week when to drop said content. But
Right.
they didn't have to do it every single day.
Of course.
And that
Yeah.
was something that I definitely suffered from. And one of the
Oh.
things that, as I come back, like if I do go back to it, and
Yeah.
there's a big if, like I enjoy doing it because it's fun.
Uh-huh.
I haven't found my new avenue or vein to kind of figure out what the next evolution was going to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it is fun, and I will get back to doing it. I will definitely be a lot more organized when it comes down to having a day to film and then having a day to edit and then putting everything out there, which is
Now, this
important.
sparks another question. We talked about the struggle of posting stuff. Is
Hmm.
I fully agree with free speech when it comes to content
Right.
creating. Do what you have to do. It will make you feel happy and fulfilled. But I do agree is how you say it. Is there a structure of how you say things to post it?
Yeah.
Because or God forbid, doesn't matter what you say, it's gonna get taken anyway if they feel.
There are some, look, there are some, and I'm the perfect example of it.
Mm-hmm.
I am who I am. I'm always
Right.
going to be who I am. There is no change in who I am. I am a left wing liberal that feels that everybody. I'm a fan of socialism. I think it works really well.
Of
But
course,
I
yeah.
also understand capitalism, and I understand why it's important. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm going to say what I want to say.
Of
And
course, yeah.
we've had 4 or 5 years, actually now 8 years, of complete and total ridiculousness since we've had the orange mangaloid trying to disrupt everything that was normal. And the normal wasn't good either. That's what people don't seem to understand. Like, well, you can't admit that your guys failed too. No, we're all flawed. That's why we're as flawed as a species. We had to invent an eraser. Like, let that sink in. You know what I mean? Like, we are so flawed. We had to invent something to erase our mistakes. Well,
I'm happy that I lost my train of thought there, but thoughts kind of coming back right now.
Right.
But I'm not really a political person right now. Thought came back. I'm happy I stirred away talking about politics when it comes to broadcasting, because it can go so many avenues in so many ways, and you can offend somebody by just reporting something. And I just personally feel this is a personal opinion observation that I feel just the past two we had as presidents were, in my opinion, best options. I think they were like the options that we just had left. I think we had a lot of better options when it came to that position, but unfortunately, this is what we came up with. I wish these guys good luck. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish bad upon these guys, or wish these guys good lives, but I just feel we could have had better people in that position. Better structured.
I love how political that was. That was so perfectly worded. I don't feel the same way. I feel that
I know
both of the candidates were weak, and we definitely should have done better. One of them I wish well. The other one I can't wait to go to jail.
I agree.
No, I know you don't have to agree or disagree. That's fine.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong one bit. I just feel both people weren't structured properly when it came to the position they're doing, or not able to be structured for the position that they're trying to do.
I always think that's hysterical, because I really think that like, you could tell when people are first time running for any type of political office, because they're out there making promises that if you did any research in the Constitution,
and that's why
you can't actually do,
man, because
you know
like
what I mean?
just a whole bunch of people just like talking and over delivering, and like, be real when it just comes to some stuff. Like, dude, like some stuff I can't do for you. Like I totally respect the people's like, yo, I cannot make this happen at all. But they're trying to appease a mass amount of people.
Right. Well, see, here's one of the key things, and one, I say this all the time. I think accountability is one of the biggest things.
Of course.
That I like personally. In the massive tragedies that have happened by all the police that are wrongly killing people. Do you think it would be taken a little bit differently if one of the police chiefs were just like, my bad, we made a mistake, it was a tragic mistake, it was absolutely horrible, and we're going to do better? I think that speech comes off a lot better than, we were just policing the way that things were supposed to be, and yada yada.
Just admit it was wrong. Just admit it was wrong. Just admit you're looking at ways to avoid this nonsense. I totally agree with that, but I just feel we won't genuinely feel that in a long time, which is sad. Which is not structured at all on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building, which sparks up to the next topic I want to talk about. Do you feel a lot of people put too many hats on and don't know it, which can lead to an unstructured life?
Oh, of course, because that's the whole thing is. It sucks to be vulnerable. It sucks to have to put trust in somebody else, especially since 9 times out of 10, if you're somebody, growing up the way that you grew up and you're constantly being let down, you're just going to constantly see that.
Right.
So I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and just because I'm here for the next 8 hours and I need
Mhm.
to be here for the next 8 hours and this is what it's going to go through.
Of course.
When there are sometimes you also have to have, that boss that, or that the non-structure aspect of it that's going to be like,
Yeah.
okay, I need you to go sit in that chair and I need you to do this, what
Right.
some people will think is a meaningless task on this
Mhm.
phone, but it's not just for you, it's also
Mhm.
to calm you down,
True.
because you can also get overly excited. You have 1.5 million hats to do. I got to get A, B, C, D all done. The time clock is ticking away. You're massively stressed out. You're gonna make that mistake.
Mm.
It's just gonna happen. Um, which is why having the structure is so important, because you have that bowl. The mistake happens, you drop it into that bowl, and that bowl of structure can actually make sure that you're kind of knocking it out of the park in a better type of way.
Yeah.
Where,
Mhm.
it's that if structure is your foundation, you can build any house possible.
True. True.
You
And
know,
with structure comes consistency.
yes. And consistency is super important because,
Mhm.
again, it goes back to the 10,000 hours.
Yeah,
If you're consistent with something for 10,000 hours, you'll become a master at it.
I
You
agree.
know,
I
so
totally agree. And I think consistency is our definition of perfect because nothing can be
yep.
perfect, but if you were consistent, a lot of people will look at you like, yo, how do you do this? And, how do you do it with such a balance in your life? People will question you why you
Right.
do it so well because I'm consistent. You
Right.
know, it takes
Well,
a million times to fall down, to get back.
right. But
I'm
you look at
swimming
Black
with you. I'm
Alex.
I'm going at.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
look at Black Alex. Black Alex,
Hmm.
when he first started to create, he was just
Absolutely.
creating to get it out there. Now he's
Yeah.
creating and he's releasing on a regular basis. And because he's been
Hmm.
releasing on a regular basis, the numbers that he has been accumulating have been nonstop.
It's so true.
Yes, don't get me wrong, the material has gotten so much better because he's growing and evolving as a musician.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong,
Of course.
but it's still the same material that was released, that he was able to release a couple years ago. It's
Hmm.
the same perspective. It's still the same person,
Yeah.
but now it's become a lot more consistent. And now that it's more consistent, it's more um, easily achieved, easily digestible.
Yeah.
Because people are used
So
to
true.
seeing it on a regular basis. So that's one of those top things.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And when you think about it, let's talk about your band. Let's talk about the Penguins. There's been great structure and
Hmm.
there's been great unbalance.
Yeah.
Just coming from the outside looking in and just what I'm hearing from the information that you tell me. And I think of right now, today of February 2024, we have a now structured Shane Penguin,
Hmm.
looking forward to the future and
Right.
seeing what's good coming out of you guys.
Yeah.
Look at you now. You're performing in Hartford, which is really
Yep.
crazy,
Which was
and you
awesome.
untouched Hartford, which is crazy,
Hmm. Yeah.
and you're going up there and doing stuff, and it can lead to other opportunities, you're
Yeah,
winning
well,
awards
the
that
Hartford
comes with
gig
consistency.
also,
Yeah.
well, the Hartford gig, it's incredible because it all comes down to the market, to the networking aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I had put a thing out on social media,
Yeah.
because I had noticed that we were starting to get a lot of streams through Apple Music from Hartford. So I was like, how do I
Mm.
get out to Hartford? How is this possible?
Right.
And then our friends at the Human Fund and our friends at Egg, were like, hey, let's put some shows together. And each
Mm-hmm.
of us did a show. Like, Human Fund did the show out in Hartford. I'm doing this show out here on the 21st, at Stella Blues with Milk Street. Milk Street is a touring band from Maine, so this show goes well, we'll be able to play 2 shows in Maine. And because of, being who we're being, in July, we're also going to be playing Providence, just by going out there and continuing to genuinely be yourself and continue to genuinely try to put good music and a good performance out there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a great ride to see, man. You win
It's
all these
fun.
awards now.
Yeah, it's weird. People are weird.
I
People are
don't think
weird.
it's weird. I don't think it's weird. I think it's acceptance. We call it weird because we're not used to this feeling. We need to
Yes.
define better terms of weird. We need to be structured when it comes to weird. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
see,
what's
I
weird to
love
you
weird.
can be
Yeah.
normal to somebody
Right.
else, you know,
Exactly.
because you're not used to these accomplishments and to achieving this stuff. Like they're not used to that award that you're looking at probably across from your room. You're not used to that.
Right.
So it's a weird feeling from you because we're the person who's winning and doesn't get that accomplishment and feels like they're robbed and
Right.
you know, like all this like feel like they have to get this brass ring in order to
I
achieve.
really love how you brought this up
Yeah.
because this hits home.
Hmm.
Everyone who just watched the Grammys this year,
Yeah.
Jay-Z had a whole speech on there, and he
And
kind
I
of
love that
like
speech. I really do.
I loved it, but also
Yeah. You have mixed feelings?
I have mixed feelings because I don't think he understood the process. Like I feel it's the same way like the first time people running for president. You don't
Right.
necessarily understand the process, so you're taking the statement. Don't get me wrong. No way am I saying that it is fair with the Grammys. No way am I saying
Oh
that
no.
there's not
And I
severe
don't
racism in the Grammys.
I didn't look at it from my perception that he was talking about the Grammys. I just think he was talking about just major award shows
Right.
in general. Like they're gonna pick or try to favor that particular person, which I do agree with. But he
Right.
said, but I like the ending of the whole speech where he said, work hard, stay consistent. And this is not word from word, people. This is just my
Right.
perception of what he said. Work hard, stay consistent, and work so much they have no choice to call you the GOAT. They have no
Right.
choice but to say these great things about you. That's
Right.
when you calm down. But
Right.
keep on working hard and keep having that structured
Mm-hmm. There you
work
go.
ethic. And then, people would be like, yo, this person's incredible. How come he did not win these didn't win
Right.
these nominations? How come wasn't in this category? Like that's what I saw coming in,
Right.
what he was doing. Because like,
Yeah.
with the Oscars and with the Emmy, all this stuff, like, yo, no one saw this person do that. Like, why would because there's some stuff that's nominated when we sometimes feel like, yo, no one's gonna play back this part. Because when you think
Right.
about we're both nerds, Star
Yeah.
Wars,
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future movies, people still rewatch and talk about to
Right.
the end of time. Think it really, truly, the recognition we
Yeah.
truly deserve. But go ahead.
Okay, yes and no, because there are
Hmm.
still those incredible performances.
Right.
There's a reason why people still watch Casablanca
Yeah.
to this day.
Of course. Yeah.
Casablanca won Academy Awards,
Of course. And I agree.
because those performances were that good.
And
But
I
yeah,
agree.
I mean, there's a difference between being culturally relevant
Hmm.
and I don't want to say artistically relevant, but
Okay.
or we'll say culturally relevant and consumeristically relevant, because that's
Hmm.
really what it comes down to. The Grammys and the Oscars and all that kind of stuff is it's a consumer based aspect.
Yeah.
This is what it comes down to.
Hmm.
There are there are art films that are coming out of college right now that are probably better than some of these Academy Award winning films.
Or
We'll
the
never
stuff we
see
see in films in
them
general
though.
that we'll never really see. And the
Correct.
same thing comes with
Right.
music. There's probably some
Mm-hmm.
musicians that we will sadly not know about at
No.
all.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be the best music you ever heard. And I heard that from numerous people.
Well, there's the gentleman who actually just passed away as well, Rodriguez. He was
Rodriguez, who was this?
this was a phenomenal musician. He was a folk musician.
Okay.
And he's also known as Sugar Man.
Mm.
He had a song called Sugar Man that didn't really do well in the folk era out here.
His stage name was Rodriguez?
I believe it was Rodriguez.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Well, and you can actually look it up, Sugar Man.
Okay, Sugar Man. Sugar or Sugar?
Sugar.
Or Sugar?
Sugar.
Okay.
This was in like the 60s, 70s. It was sugar.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people like spell it out
Hard
there.
R. Hard R. That's the only time in radio
Right, that's
people like me are
important.
allowed to say
Put the
hard
R
R
in that name. AR people.
But you know,
Mhm.
it was kind of overlooked in the United States, but
Right.
became huge in the Philippines. To the point where, you know, they were trying to get him to go down there. And people thought he was dead for like 20 years. But he wound up just being like homeless and was, you know, working as a day laborer.
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, he's, you know, one of the biggest artists to ever come out of the Philippines. You know, and had to fight to get all of the money that his, you know, independent label, you know, owed him.
Right.
Because they were the ones, they were still getting checks. He wasn't. You know, so it's really a matter of where you're going to land too in the marketing aspect of it, because just because you might not sell incredibly well in the United States does not mean you are a failure. You know, because there are bands out here right now that are playing small clubs that in Europe are also playing, you know, arenas. Or
and there's
if
radio
they go,
shows that unfortunately have to wrap up soon. We had a great stuff on Structure. Hopefully get a part 2 going on, because it's been a great conversation I had with you.
Definitely.
Any words, you know, from a person who is accomplished a lot within this short career of short Shane Penguin career, because, you know, I don't think you guys like hit the 10-year mark yet. No. But for someone who's achieved a good amount of accomplishments within this industry, any words of encouragement you have for that perspective? I'm saying creator, doesn't even mean music.
Well, it's so funny because
go ahead.
One of the things that it was advice that was given to me that I hated.
That you hated? Okay.
I hated the advice at the time because I thought it was stupid.
Right.
But it's the only advice that actually makes sense. I was at the Tibetan Freedom concert in the late 90s, and I met Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. And I asked him, I was like, you know, what advice can you give a young up and coming musician? And the dude looked me dead in the eyes and was like, just do it. And I was like, oh, great. I went to the Oracle to get, you know, advice, and I got a Nike commercial. You know, but it's true. Just go out there and do it. No matter what, you know, your audience will find you. Your audience will find you. Go out there and put out the music, no matter how weird you think it is. Go out and put out that content, no matter how weird you think it is. You know, go out and get one of those OnlyFans, no matter how weird you think it is. Go get your money. I'm looking forward to doing some of these uncensored shows and having some OnlyFans models. You know, sitting there talking about the. Oh no, I'm in, dude. I'm in. This is a call. Call all OnlyFans models. Please feel free to hit us up, and we will interview
respectfully
you.
For the off-branded show, but for the censored show we're doing right now live on WNHHLP 103.5 FM. Easy. It's been great talking about Structure with you. Hopefully we get a part 2 coming out very soon. And we love you guys. We appreciate you, from all the consistent listeners out there, if I can barely speak, you know, whatever platform. It could be live, it could be Spotify, it could be Audible, whatever you may choose. We do love you. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made Easy Blues.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know.